So we've got to talk about Timbaland and the artists that he has put out there. Okay. You know what I mean? Because we were talking, or even his production. Because when you think about the artists that Timbaland has put on, and I'm not counting Missy, I'm not counting Genuine, I'm not counting anybody who was already who they were before they got with him.
Like Bubba Sparks.
Bubba Sparks.
That Bubba Sparks is one of his.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
but I count Bubba Sparks. Miss Jade.
Okay. Hold on. Was there Miss? Was a girl Miss Toy? Or was that somebody else?
Miss Toy was with
that was West
Major
Coast.
Figures.
Okay.
No, she was West Coast.
I think yeah.
But
what's your angle here?
Yeah.
Hey man, he throws a lot of trash out there.
His tree,
Sebastian,
his tree ain't there.
Magoo,
Magoo,
I've never heard this. Okay,
Yeah.
Now I see where we're going.
Yeah, like Tim,
To be such a great producer,
man. And then, like Tim, bro, hey, yo, you missing a lot, my G.
Let me ask you this question. This
Tink.
This is definitely gonna be.
Tink was good when she got away from him.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I was about to say. I know Timbaland is revered in hip hop.
Yeah.
What is he, Lone? Reverend?
I said that the right word, right?
No, it's revered.
It's all right though. Don't worry
But
about
it's
it.
you good.
Yeah.
Well, it depends where I'm from, right?
You're right.
First of all, if we go, we'll let you consider some of the stuff.
Revered.
I've
consider
definitely put you some words
out here
so
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
Spoke It.
Yeah, I definitely said.
But at least I asked, right?
Yeah.
My name is Beatz 7th. I definitely said spoke it as a grown man.
I like
With a
saying
mother as a teacher.
Exactly.
I like saying posthumous because I just like the way that flows. But I like saying posthumous.
Yes.
Posthumous, yeah.
Because I just like the way that flows.
Yeah.
But has Timbaland's work
No.
through time, has it actually aged well?
Not at all.
You don't think so?
Okay, Lone. Wait a minute now.
Because I don't think that it has.
I'm with you.
You don't think?
Wait.
Dirt Off Your Shoulders, man, here's another moment where everybody's going to say, of course the white guy says that. But I don't think Dirt Off Your Shoulders is a great beat.
Okay.
It was at this time.
All right, wait.
Time.
Okay.
Maybe.
But
Now,
now,
let me pull some stuff up
Jigga
because
who?
I see this is going to be coming.
I like Jigga What Jigga Who. But then,
That beat was hard.
yeah, but now
I don't think it's aged well.
it's not. It's
my angle.
annoying.
Yeah, it's
The
like
potion,
Dirt Off
by
Your
Ludacris.
That beat is fire.
don't get me no. I don't want to say across the board because he does have records that are really dope.
He does.
But in general, a lot of Timbaland stuff, when I go back and listen, I was like, man, he kind of had the corny beat on the album.
Okay,
Ooh.
sir. So
Hey,
As opposed to Swizz Beatz.
No, Swiss is right
Swizz,
there with him,
yeah,
but
I was
he's
about to say.
always been that. He's never gotten out of that. He's always
he's
been
petty
that.
for saying he's always been that.
But
you're right though. You're right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. And again, Swiss has bangers. He has hits. He's the Rough Rider joint or the Rough Riders,
yeah,
but
Rough
DMX,
Riders anthem. Yeah.
the DMX big hits and stuff like that. But in general, I don't know, man.
Okay, so Lone, I'm glad you said this. I'm gonna dive in real quick.
Okay, dive in.
All right, so because I'm a Timbaland fan, but I don't think y'all are too far off for this. But I just want to provide context. So Aaliyah's first album, 1 in a Million.
We not counting Aaliyah. We not counting.
Why not?
Because Aaliyah was already
you talking about his production? Okay, no.
If we're talking production, I mean, I'm
it's not
sure.
her first album.
What I'm
Second
saying
album.
is, I'm not saying that across the board all of Timbaland's stuff is garbage. I'm saying that if you look across, and I don't. Maybe garbage is too strong.
I think your garbage is too strong.
Because what
Look,
what I really mean
what
is
genuine song can you always play?
What I really mean is he has tried a lot of things.
He has.
And he's went left on a lot of things that I don't think a lot of the stuff that he's went super left on have aged super well. But he does have bangers.
He does.
Okay, so
he
had an
Timberlake
era.
heat.
Timberlake got a lot of heat.
Timberlake got some of his best work.
that's what I was going to use as a reference because they have
On
heat.
that Future Sex Love Songs
Fire.
album, he was in his bag.
Look,
in front on
people
that.
are going to try to hyper focus on the fact that I said some of his stuff is bad, but I'm not saying that everything he does. I'm saying
bad.
we
Yeah.
can definitely pinpoint records. It's like what.
It was moment music. Timberland did a lot of moment music.
If it wasn't Timbaland's name behind it, the artist would not have chosen that beat.
Boom. That's it right there. Boom. That's it right there. Boom. Yeah. It's a drop the mic right there, right?
Go back and look at Jay-Z's face when he's listening to Dirt Off Shoulders the very first time, and you see him processing this thought.
No,
He was
Fade to Black.
He was processing every other beat that he was playing, just like that. He was like, "Man, nah, give me something."
Yeah,
else."
because he said,
But he was like, am I missing something?
yeah, because he used to heard the potion and was like, nah.
I like the potion myself.
No.
I hate that record.
I thought that beat was cool.
I thought Promiscuous Girl was fire.
Yeah.
No, I did too.
Like the whole beat. Like don't get me wrong, Timbaland's got time.
I mean, he did all of Missy's first album, Super Duper Fly.
Missy did a lot of her own first album.
Boom.
I mean, but it's listed as all tracks for Timbo. Now they probably co-produced. We ain't gonna, whatever.
All right.
You skipped right over Player. This is a hip hop podcast, but that
I know.
Player, yeah.
I don't know Player, so
Hey,
I do, but really, I mean, did he do Cheers to you?
he did.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't worry about Player.
Can't hate.
Volume 2, *𝐀𝐿 𝐻𝐿. You remember that beat?
it was cool.
Okay, long
It was
since.
Nah,
cool.
that sticks.
It's
I
cool.
think that
I feel like it
But
has
it was
legs.
stripped. It was stripped.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot to it.
So anxious.
So that's what made it great.
So anxious.
Now
Jimmy
you're
Wise.
getting an R&B.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's.
But to Lone's point, so on Nas, I Am, You Won't See Me Tonight. Do you remember that
I
record?
hated that record.
no, I don't remember.
See what I
that.
mean?
No.
And
that's my
'cause
favorite
Aaliyah-
Nas album.
Yeah, I
that
hated
must have been
record.
like track number 6 or 7.
You Owe Me by, you remember Nostradamus?
Was it number 8?
Yeah.
Because I remember I always skipped from like 5 and then went to like track number 8, 9 or something like that.
You know what's
And then
crazy?
skipped Dr. Knockboot because
Dr. Knockboot
You know what's
was
crazy?
fire. You was tripping.
You know what's crazy?
Thank
Lone?
you. Somebody else likes
No,
Dr.
Dr.
Knockboot.
Timbaland could have produced that.
Dr.
thought he
Knockboot was
did.
trash.
No, he
See?
didn't do that.
Exactly.
Dr. Knockboot was trash.
I like Dr. Knockboot.
Nah, I'm cool.
Lyrically, let me just say this real quick. I know you're
Go ahead.
I know we're all over the place, but lyrically, there's never any argument against Nas ever.
He used to kill Dr. Knockboot.
Ever.
Like
the lyrics, his flow, the way Nas did Dr. Knockboot is fire.
Yep.
The only thing that I've always ever had a problem with Nas was when I feel like somebody made a comment in one of our things that said that Nas would take average production and make it like listenable. And
Because he was so
sometime-
good.
because of what he was doing. And that's more so, I guess, to my point that maybe I wasn't articulating quite as well, is that it's not necessarily that like it's Nas picking bad beats. Nas is so good. What I'm kind of saying is Nas is so good that he's making really average trash beats
Listenable.
sound decent enough to actually want to listen to. And not
that's
many
real.
artists can do that.
That's real.
Anyway, sorry, Mike.
No, you good. You good.
Or Michael.
Thank you.
Hello, Michael.
That's actually a good point. I was just going through some of the records, and to your point about rememberable stuff, Volume 3 for Jay-Z is one of the albums that I like, but it doesn't stick out in the catalog. Tim got 4 records on that album.
Terrible.
And I'm
is
thinking
the thing
about
you do with-
Snoopy track. It's
Terrible.
high. Big Pimpin'. Come and Get Me was fire. Now, I like
Yeah.
Come and Get Me.
He
Yeah.
did Big
What was the
Pimpin'?
fourth
I didn't
one?
know he
He
did
did.
that.
He did Big Pimpin', yeah. With UGK. So,
What was the fourth record? Was that the things that you do? Or no, that was
that's
Swizz
high.
Beats.
yeah, which was trash.
Oh, with Mariah Carey, that was.
I hated that record.
And like for 2 weeks, I thought that song was fire. Then I turned it on one day. I'm like, this is awful.
That beat is corny.
Can I
that record is corny.
highlight something that all 4 of us, like hip hop heads that have been in hip hop for a very long time,
Yes.
have noted just in the last 5 minutes is we've mistaken Swizz Beatz for Timbaland a lot.
That's a good point. I didn't even realize it.
And look, for as much as Jay Moore said last week, Swizz Beatz is probably a great person. You know, he seems like a great guy. A lot of his stuff is just very, very par.
I will stand on this hill
Maybe
with
a couple
my friend.
above. Maybe a couple above par.
I will stand on this hill with my friend.
You're right.
I've always thought this. I'm glad you said it. I agree with you 100%.
Sometimes he like knocks it out the park.
Fam is a legend.
He
I'm
knocks
not.
it out the park when he actually gets on the track.
You think so?
That's
that-
when
it-
he
it's
because he
like-
has the energy to
it's
it.
Like
the
his Fat
ad-libs.
Man Scoop type.
Yeah.
Because he gave Cassidy's production he didn't even deserve.
Yeah. No,
What-
That was
what-
his artist, though.
What's the record where he was it was a Drinking My
Drinking
Two-Step?
my two-step.
That was a big record.
Yeah.
Because to this point about Swiss's swag with the ad libs and all that.
Yeah.
When he does that, it works.
It adds.
But I'm talking
gives it
about
to it.
him as a producer saying, okay, I'm going to take him and sit him down with said artist and I'm going to enjoy it. Outside of DMX, I'm like, it just didn't connect. It just doesn't
There's
connect.
a DJ Scratch beat that he got on.
New York.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yes.
Hey, like
Swizz got on it.
Swiss
Yes,
got on. Like
I
I thought
agree.
it was Swizz Beatz. I was like,
Me
oh
too.
man, and then I
I
was
was
like, oh, it's DJ Scratch. But
Yeah.
like, why is Swiss on here? But Swiss like
Swiss
made
being
it
on that
fire.
record made that record fire.
Yeah.
Yep. So I got to
Like,
give
New
credit.
York I was like, yeah, that's a record. That is actually my favorite record on that album.
Bruh.
It just jammed so
Swiss
heavy.
Beats talking cash on that record made that record.
Yeah.
Agreed 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we not hating. We're fair.
We've talked about Summer on Smash.
Am I the only one that actually doesn't hate the Snoopy track?
I don't like Snoopy.
That's as it was.
Yeah.
I like. I know. I'm biased. I'm biased because we actually back in 2006, we actually rapped over that for a mixtape for my group Quality back in the day. So I'm a little biased. Maybe.
Okay.
So
I have never liked Snoopy track.
I thought it was interesting. I guess.
You know, one beat that it's subpar, but I actually liked it a lot. Beanie Siegel's in the club. Timbaland did that.
I loved that record.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that.
As dope as Timbaland is, it's so interesting because when you put him as we're going through these catalogs, I feel like he kind of like takes away from the continuity of a lot of records sometimes because he's so different. He's so out there.
Timbaland is always the curveball on a record.
Yeah.
Go look at the Blueprint.
Hola, Jovito.
That's the curveball.
Worst song on the album.
Everything. Hold on now.
No, he's right.
The worst.
I mean, Renegade.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm sorry, I don't like the beat.
I know.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
But the song is good.
But he's the curveball on these records.
It's still a good record, but like
Hola, Vito's are a good dope
the
record.
Blueprint was just such a monster.
His records were. Is that fair to say though? That record was the curveball on that album. That's what I'm saying. Timbaland is always that person.
He always is.
He's that person on these records. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think almost to the detriment of the records though, because like he's so different. Like I almost want Timbaland being the great producer that he is. Don't get me wrong. I'm a producer, okay, so I understand what it is. But even Maja, I was talking to him because he's working with executive producing and doing his thing, and he works with an artist. Shouts to Fox.
Shout out to Mommy Fox.
And
legend.
the first thing I said today, I said, what is Fox looking for? But that was my question. It wasn't like, how can I invoke longevity into Fox's record? It was like, what is Fox looking for? And do you think that these records could potentially fit for what he's doing? Exactly. And I feel like Timbaland's approach has always been, I'm Timbaland, you're going to get Timbaland.
Boom.
And maybe that's what artists want from him, maybe. But at the same time, I think it's almost to the detriment of that project.
The songs that I've actually heard from Tim that I've liked in recent years, I don't think he touched them. I think he might have came in, he puffied them.
Now he does have, and it's well known on Twitch. They go through beat submissions and all that. So he's got a lot of producers that are underneath him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That contribute, throw him sounds. Like it's known. I ain't breaking no news here.
Yeah, major collaborations.
So I say that to say you might be onto something with some of these records because it might be I got a 75% shell. Okay, put your Timbaland on it. Let's get to 100.
Exactly.
There's probably a lot of that going on now.
Illmind has been doing the same thing with his live streams and collaborating with people.
Another dope producer.
Yeah, he's super dope. But I think like that's kind of the era we're getting into is like heavy collaborations. But to your point, I don't think a lot of these records are strictly Tim anymore.
Let me ask you
just
this.
like Dre had that.
The last one I loved was Lloyd Banks' "I'm So Fly."
Oh, that was a monster beat.
And Danger Hand said he did that.
I believe it.
Okay,
I believe it. I believe that 100%.
I can hear how maybe Timbaland might have sprinkled some Timbaland on there.
But it's a sprinkle though. I agree. I'm with you. I actually believe that. I guess here's a question for everybody since we're talking about producers and fitting in versus fitting out. I would say, in my personal opinion, I think it's easier to call Pharrell and have him fit in versus calling Timbo and having him fit in.
I think Pharrell's a better producer.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Like as far as that's concerned.
For what we talking about?
For what we're talking about, to me, Pharrell is an actual producer. Plus there's stories. Like we can go and I've read these stories, and heard them in videos and interviews. Like Pharrell is that type of person.
Prime example is Allure on the Black Album. It works.
Yeah.
It works.
I think, and the thing is I think that's a kind of a step away from Jay a little bit, but it does fit.
But it still works.
Yeah.
It works.
It's still Pharrell and it's still Jay at the same time. Whereas when I think of, I'm going to keep going back to Dirt Off Your Shoulders. When I go back to that, every time I hear that beat, I'm just kind of like, okay. Like it doesn't sound like a Jay-Z track to me. I don't think I've heard Jay-Z on anything like that style since or before.
If you remember though, in Fade to Black,
oh no,
he says there's a cutaway where he says, they're flying to Miami, he says sometimes you work with producers, and I'm paraphrasing, sometimes you work with producers because they're talented and they're dope, and sometimes you work with producers because they hot. So that bar right there, to your point, maybe that Dirt Off Your Shoulders was a direct reflection
Look,
of that.
man, I've never even seen Fade to Black. I know that's
Come on. Gotta watch
sacrilegious.
it.
That's almost as worse.
Thank you.
That's almost as
I
worse
knew
as
he
you
was
never
not
seen
seen
The
The
Wire.
Wire.
But
No, it is worse.
See, it is
you not
worse.
seeing The Wire is worse.
But look, it's on my list.
This is
to watch.
cyberbullying on the low.
Let me ask you this question real quick because I just want to know where can I even watch Fade to Black?
It was on Amazon at
I'm
one
gonna
point.
hook you up too.
Thank you, thank you. Because I've been wanting to
They
watch
move it around.
I've been wanting to watch it for a while, but I haven't. It hasn't crossed my path. But
I think you'll enjoy Fade to Black.
No, I know I will. I've been wanting to see it for a while. I just haven't. It hasn't found my in a streaming platform
you'll
where I
enjoy
can watch it. But no, I think that's very interesting that I said that, and then Jay-Z said that because I had no idea that he said that.
when you see it and it leads right into it. I'm jogging my memory. It leads right into the session with Timbaland. Like he's on the plane, they doing the cutaway. You seen it? I believe he says that as they lead into the session for Timbaland.
This is Big Tim.
Yeah, they're like this is like,
In the
like
studio.
super
Yeah.
Tim.
Drinking,
Juggling.
Yeah, and he.
I think
This before he got a solo flex.
steroids.
Don't do that.
See,
Don't do that.
I think to
Remember
further.
when that stage with all the hip hop rap super where they was all big like superheroes?
Yeah,
Busta, Dre.
Missy.
See,
Wait, are you talking about the big lows?
No, I'm talking about they was
when they all
actually,
they was on that creatine.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's
They
something.
was all out
different
there
from
with them.
I really hate
with them
him.
Well, he
expensive
said-
with them expensive wife beaters on.
He started it with Busta, so that's immediately where I went.
Busta,
really
I was
Big
thinking-
Bang Busta.
I was
Yes.
thinking of Hype Williams, and anyways, never mind.
I really hate.
he was really messing with that Barry Bonds,
Yeah,
the HGH.
but
Go ahead, man.
He might have just Gold's Gym.
I feel like
Y'all so disrespectful.
I feel like Timbaland as a guest producer, I feel like he probably, now I'm not super knowledgeable of his extensive detail with his catalog. I'll just say that. But what I will say is this. I feel like Timbaland, from the stuff that I've known and that I've heard both from his R&B stuff and from his his features, I feel like he is best suited as a producer when he's working with an artist for a whole project.
You talking about Timbo?
Yeah, because then the entire sound is Timbaland instead of just him injecting a sound on somebody.
Justin Timberlake proved that.
Until you got that Man of the Wild foolishness. What was that?
Nah, he kind of lost me on Man in the Wild a
He
little
was
bit.
good.
Now, it was some heat on there, but
Yeah,
it
was
kinda- It had a couple records, Jay.
Yeah,
A
no.
couple. I mean, Pharrell.
Justin Timberlake when he's trying to rediscover his whiteness. Could have kept
When
that
he
whole
went to the
album.
woods.
Yeah, Man of the Woods.
He had the beard and everything,
Yeah.
super beard.
Yeah,
all
he
that.
was like, yeah, you know,
So now black people can't go in the woods? What's going on here?
I knew it. I
Not if
knew
you
it.
were white people.
yeah, not,
Not if you want to come back.
yeah. No,
Hey, I felt that on the low.
I saw surviving the game, man.
I really felt that,
Shout out
man.
Ice-T, one of his finer films.
Wow. All right,
That's
man.
funny.
Yeah, that's that's stupid. But with Pharrell, he did the majority of Justified. Am I tripping?
It was Pharrell and Timbaland. They kind of split duty on that record.
Okay. Because Senorita is a fire record. I don't DJ from a DJ brand. I don't know if you
Senorita,
still
that's
run
Pharrell,
that.
yeah.
That record still go.
I feel like from a stylistic standpoint, though, Pharrell and Timbaland they have similar characteristics, and it's probably because also being from the same region,
Yep.
coming from the same family tree,
Damn near high school.
You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Something in the water.
Yep.
Maybe. I mean, it comes from they come from the tree of, why can't I think of Teddy Riley?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's both Pharrell, I think, and Timbaland both, I think, excel in the R&B realm, even
I'll
though they
give you
can,
that.
even though they can both do both.
Hey, and shout out to, since we talking about VA, don't forget about Knots.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now he's not the completely different producer, but we talking about like VA, that area. That dude needs to get his
For sure.
flowers while he is here.
Not
And also
everybody
Bink-
right.
And Bink,
right?
Bink as
Bink is another one. Bink is another one.
He's from VA.
Yep.
Okay.
Got to get them boys some flowers, man, because VA really. And we want to talk about producers by state.
Virginia.
That's tough.
Yep.
If we want to
you know
do
the record I was
producers
thinking
by
about?
state.
When you said Allure, I
Yeah,
said, what else sounds like that? Remember he gave on American Gangster, he gave Jay, I Know.
I know.
Yeah.
Yep. Now I know. Now, American Gangster was full of soul samples, but I know fit
It did.
to the point that we talking about.
Yeah.
It wasn't that far out. It wasn't a whole lot of veto
But
far out.
he did have a whole veto, but it still was cool.
Exactly.
On American Gangster?
yeah. Yeah, on American
What was
Gangster.
the whole video on that?
The Pharrell record, the Blue Magic is kind of
Blue
like
Magic.
Yeah.
it's kind of like Hola Vito, like
That stood out more than I know. on the track list.
Yeah.
But it was
as
a
far
single,
as the
though.
sound. As
Yeah.
far as the sound goes, it's like, man, this don't fit the rest of the album, but it's still cool.
Yeah.